So I quit my job. So it's been a little bit over a year now when I made the biggest decision of my life. I chose to take a big leap and pursue something that I love, which required me to change my entire career. Yes, that's right. After a decade of pursuing architecture, I chose to give it all up to pursue woodworking full time. The honest truth is, even though working as an architect, I wasn't fulfilled, the decision was incredibly hard. I had to face really tough questions like, what would I be giving up? Could I actually make this work? Would woodworking pay the bills? And ultimately, will I be happy in this new venture? So for me to answer the first question, what will I be giving up? I want to give some context to those who aren't familiar with the architecture process. I went to architecture school straight out of high school at the fresh age of 18. Architecture school, for those who don't know, is a minimum of 5 years. That's right, minimum 5 years, not 4 years, 5 years. And you don't get a master's degree. You don't even get to call yourself an architect after you graduate. College was pretty much how people explained it to me. It was very long nights. It was very hard. Studio life was very hard. I remember pretty much having no social life other than spending time with my friends and studio mates in studio pretty much. I remember leaving school at 6 o'clock in the evening, going home just to eat dinner, wash up, head back to school at 9 p.m. at night, work for a little bit in studio, then leave studio at 2 a.m. in the morning, sleep for about 4 hours, wake up at 6, and start the whole day again. So, I mean, I literally lived and breathed studio life. They even had a shower for us in the same building. I don't think any other building on campus had that, other than, like the gym and stuff like that. But yeah, we had our own shower because you were there pretty much all day. This is where my passion for woodworking began. We had an awesome state-of-the-art wood shop, metal shop, whatever you could think of, whatever you wanted to make, you could pretty much do in that shop. And that was the biggest aspect that I loved about studio, which was being able to work with my hands and being able to come up with a design, and then within the next couple of days, it actually becomes reality. So moving forward a little bit, after graduation, in order for me to call myself an architect, I had to go through 7 exams at that time and 3,500 hours of internship. These exams don't just cover architecture. It covers structure, it covers plumbing, mechanical, electrical. It covers design, it covers planning. It covers a wide variety of things because that's what's expected out of us architects. We need to know a little bit about everything when it comes to putting a building together. As I'm studying for the exam and taking the exams, I'm working on that 3,500 hours that needs to be fulfilled. And again, it's not generally architecture. All these hours were chunked down into smaller categories, and you had to fulfill each of those categories. It's been a while, so I don't know exactly how many categories there were, but I know it's a lot. Years goes by and I got my license. I was able to call myself finally an architect. I decided to kind of venture off a little bit. I went into construction, worked for a construction company for a few years. So then I decided to open up my own firm focusing on design build with the help of my previous boss, who kind of funneled jobs to me whenever they were busy. Starting out, I really had a great support system, and I was able to be successful very early on working on these really big projects. And on the construction side of things, I focused mainly on the restaurants and smaller projects where I was able to handle that workload by myself with the help of subcontractors. And I was very proud of the work that I was doing and all of the sacrifice that I was making to get me to where I was, which is why it was so hard to give up. And as I was facing this question, other questions came up, things like, what was the point of all this? What was the point of going through all that studying and all those exams and all those hours and long nights? Did I really just wasted all this time? Because the reality is the field that I was in wasn't anything like I imagined in college. All that I loved about architecture, it wasn't being fulfilled in the work that I was doing. And oftentimes it left me depressed and very unfulfilled with my life. But it was these questions that held me back from taking the leap earlier on, because I didn't want to give it up. I didn't want to regret all of that time and effort. So flash forward 2020, everything's closed, everything is shut down. Nobody's building hotels, nobody's opening up restaurants. I had no job pretty much at that time. Architecture was pretty much bare, but while I was working on these projects, I was doing woodworking on the side, doing small pieces, small products where I can fit in on the weekends. And there was something exciting going on over there. Things were starting to really build up during that time. I started an Etsy page where I sold my products. From there, it led to custom commissions and then custom built-ins for clients in their home. So things were booming over on the woodworking side. My wife saw what was happening and She brought up some really good points, and it was her push that actually allowed me to take that leap of faith. She asked me the question, what do I have to lose? Because the truth was, I lost everything. And here's something that was happening that was very good, and it happened to align with what I was passionate about. It was an opportunity for something new. Now came the question of whether or not this could actually work. Could I make this work? Could I do woodworking full time, and could that pay the bill? And when it comes to finances, I'm the type of person who loves cushion. I like a safety net. This wasn't the first time going out on my own, so I understood what I was getting into, but it definitely felt very new. Just the fear of not knowing where money was gonna come in, whether or not I can pay the bills and take care of the family, because at that time, I was a new father. Looking back at it, I kind of felt like I knew I was going to do this in the end, that this was the end goal. I didn't know exactly when I was going to make the jump, but I knew that I would eventually, so I planned for it. And for me, I knew that there were a few things that I needed to iron out, I needed to have before I was going to make that jump. So for me to take that jump, I had 4 things in mind. First, I had to make sure that I had 6 months of salary saved up just in case. Let's say I do this woodworking thing full time and 6 months down the line, it just totally craps out and I get no new clients, everything just fails. I would have at least 6 months of experimenting with that. So at the end of that 6 months, worst case, if it fails, I was able to at least know I tried and go back to my 9-to-5 job. The second thing was I needed to establish my brand ahead of time. I did this by utilizing Instagram and social media. I pretty much post daily for a very long time, building up the brand and also starting the YouTube page to kind of put my brand out there as well. And by doing that, the results are 80% of my work now is just straight through Instagram. Like the clients come to me because they found me on Instagram and they would message me on Instagram. So, I mean, that's just wild. I do have a website, but all the traffic seems to just go through Instagram. So again, yeah, that's just wild. I could have never imagined that. And the third thing was I needed to make sure that I had no debt. And I didn't want to start off another business pulling out debt to pay for the larger equipment. I was fortunate that the construction side of the previous business pretty much paid for most of the equipment already, the jointer, the planer, the table saw, a lot of the large equipment. So I didn't really have to put a investment in to buy those things. I mean, I did have some debt from credit cards that I was using to buy material, but that was taken care of within a day. And the fourth and final thing that I needed to establish was different streams of income to offset the pay cut that I was going to take. For me, this was fairly simple because earlier on in my life, I made some investment decision that I'm thankful that I'd made now, which is buying my first house before we were married. And that has been a house that we've been renting out. So that has allowed me to take in some income every single month. Thankfully, because we had a tenant in there pretty much ever since we purchased it. And also I've been doing the YouTube thing, and that has generated some income as well as affiliate links. Although the YouTube and affiliate links aren't very stable, at least the rental property is, it has given me a little bit of flexibility. You might say that this is a list of very big items. Again, this is for me, this is what it took for me to feel comfortable to make that jump. This list allowed me to assess the risk and make sure that I have everything covered before I was able to go on and take that jump. And what surprised me the most was the response. It's just been very amazing and very overwhelming on some days. It's to the point where I have to be very selective on the jobs that I take, and certain jobs I just have to pass on. So it's been truly a blessing. I mean, if you ask me, what is my dream for the shop, for the business, for this woodworking thing? To be quite honest, I would say that I am living the dream. Like, I'm living the dream that a lot of people would love to have, which is doing woodworking full time, doing their passion full time. Like, I'm truly blessed and privileged to have this opportunity. Of course, I want things to grow. I want the business to become bigger. I want a bigger shop. I want a whole bunch of other things. But all of that is really just a bonus at this point. Which leads me to the last question of whether or not I would be fulfilled. And I know that we heard this saying before, if you love what you do, you'll never work a single day in your life. I don't really think that's true. I would change it up a little bit by saying if you love what you do, you can bear the work every day in your life. Because loving the work that you do doesn't mean there's not going to be tough days. I have tough days, and I'm pretty sure you guys have tough days as well. The truth is we have to bear some of that work. I mean, that's the reality of work. It takes effort, it takes energy, and sometimes we may not have that energy, we may have that, or we may not have that discipline to do it. Even though I can say that I love what I do, there are certain days where I just don't want to do the work. Things like, emails and calling clients and going out to buy materials and things like that. I mean, who actually loves to do their taxes, right? But it's bearable. I no longer mind those challenges, and I don't mind those tasks because I'm able to connect it to what I'm passionate about, which is woodworking. I don't know if I've heard this before or if I just came to realize it, but if you're able to take the work that you're doing and connect it to what you're passionate about so that you're able to fulfill a certain mission, to me, that is what purpose is. Looking back now, I feel like everything that I've done in the past, from the architecture school and going through all of that, and then to doing wedding photography during the weekends and the construction side of things, all of that were small little puzzle pieces that combined together becomes this woodworking thing and this content creating thing that I'm doing now. And to me, it fits and it feels very comfortable. It feels where I'm supposed to be. So I'm really excited about the future. I'm excited where the path is going to lead me. I know that this is a long journey, emphasizing on what Gary Vaynerchuk would often say is the process. It's not the end and it's not the beginning, it's this journey, it's this process that we should try to enjoy more of. Making this change and leaving architecture was not a decision that happened overnight. I know that I'm blessed and very privileged to have this opportunity to pivot at this point in my life, but it didn't come without any effort. It was a process that was planned, and every small step that I took led me to where I am now, which I can ultimately say I am fulfilled. I know this video is out of the ordinary, but I wanted to share this journey with you. I wanted to bring you guys into my life a little bit to see exactly where I was and how I got here to this point of doing woodworking full-time. And ultimately, I just hope that this video inspires you, especially those who are in the situation that I was in, not being fulfilled with their career. So I do hope that you found some inspiration from this video, or at least found it helpful in some type of way. I do thank you guys for watching. Until next time, this has been Bao Design Craft Workshop. See ya.